Hello there.
For thousands of generations, the Jedi Knights have been protectors and guardians of the Republic. But throughout those generations, there has been countless wars. And in order to combat these wars and prevail, they had to adapt and create multiple lightsaber forms in order to prevail throughout these horrific battles. But to name all of these lightsaber forms would be impossible, because there are thousands of different variations and multiple hybrids of each form. So for the sake of the video, we will only be talking about the 7 forms that Jedi and Sith used. But if you feel like I should make a video about all of them in the future, please let me know in the comments down below. I will gladly look into it and sacrifice my sanity. To start off, we will start with Form 1, Shi-Cho, or otherwise known as the Way of the Sarlacc and the Determination form. Form 1 is the oldest out of all the lightsaber forms, and is the first to evolve from the ancient disciplines of their sword fighting skills. Form 1 teaches the basic moves of attack in pairing, focusing on the humanoid body target zones: left side, right side, head, and legs. It does not matter what species the Jedi or Sith was. If they could wield a lightsaber, they could master Form 1. While it may be the oldest out of all the forms, it was definitely not the best for lightsaber reflections or lightsaber-to-lightsaber combat. But it is a superior all-around form that a Jedi could fall back to in the heat of a battle. This lightsaber skill was taught at a very young age to all the younglings. The second form of lightsaber combat is Makashi, and is known as the Connection form. This is the preferred fighting style for lightsaber-to-lightsaber combat, and is the most elegant out of all the 6 traditional forms. Makashi emphasizes precise strikes and well-balanced footwork. It's the most commonly used as a one-handed style. Its users prefer using a well-balanced lightsaber, including a curved hilt variant. But it is also the most disciplined out of all the forms. The most common wielders of Form 2 has got to be Count Dooku, Jedi Master East Koth, and Jedi Knight Kit Fisto. The third form, Sarisu, also known as the Resilient form or the Way of the Monarch. This form is the ultimate expression of defense, and its masters are said to be impervious to all forms of attack. Form 3 is the ideal lightsaber style for intercepting blaster fire. It is said that Sarisu is the most inward-directed of all forms. It is also said that a lone Jedi who uses Sarisu can withstand an ambush of 20 blaster-wielding thugs by dropping into a moving meditation. In this state, the Jedi can perceive the position of each enemy and will move to the necessary place to intercept each bolt. While Form 3 is perfect for defense, it also means the master of Form 3 is unable to mount a counterattack. Its most popular wielders of Form 3 were Obi-Wan Kenobi, Depa Billaba, and Luminara Unduli. Ataru is the 4th lightsaber form taught. It is also known as the aggressive form or the Way of the Hawk Bat. Fittingly, its kinetic moves require its user state to be in a constant offense. On the outside, it may look like just a blur of leaps and lunges, but on the inside, it is persistent with strikes and jumps. Form 4 is best practiced by a Jedi who possesses unusual speed and stamina through the Force. Form 4 is best used against a single opponent. Against multiple foes, the Jedi will need to adapt at least persistence and defense of Form 3, and at some point will need to shift to Form 6, unless the user is a true master of Ataru. The most famous users of Form 4 are Grandmaster Yoda, Ahsoka, and Qui-Gon Jinn. Xian/Diem So is the 5th of the traditional lightsaber forms, known as the Preservance form, or the Way of the Krayt Dragon. It has 2 aspects. Xian and Diem So can both be equally mastered by a Form 5 practitioner, but most Jedi experience a preference to one or the other, the same way how a Jedi has a dominant hand. Form 5 is the most physically demanding of all the styles. While Form 4 requires speed and agility, Form 5 requires strength in a Jedi. This form came into existence thanks to a Form 3 master who believed that Form 3 did not allow a sufficient counterattack to opponents. From this idea, they developed Xian, a style that deflected blaster bolts, parrying the bolt back to the enemy. While DM follows the same philosophy, it is different in its own way. Instead of turning a blaster bolt back to its enemy, it turns almost any enemy attack back onto him or her, but it is optimized for lightsaber-to-lightsaber combat. It is said that Jedi of larger stature typically used Form 5 because they required less agility. The most popular wielders of Form 5 are Plo Koon, Anakin, and Luke Skywalker, and Darth Bane. Naman, also called the Moderation form, and the Way of the Rancor, is the 6th of the traditional lightsaber form. It is often used by Jedi counselors who choose not to make a career out of violence, which is why it is known as the Diplomat's form. Form 6 is the most balanced out of all the styles, for it is not as precise as Form 2 or as defensive as Form 3, nor as kinetic as Form 4 or as dominant as Form 5, but Form 6 draws all those styles together to create a hybrid form marked for its practicality. Form 6 encourages integrating force powers into combat. Form 6 includes these two moves: Draw Closer, in which a Jedi would telekinetically pull an enemy within range of a saber sweep, and Push Slash, in which a Jedi would force blast an enemy away. Proper management of these tools allows a Form 6 master to take control of a group by eliminating enemies one by one. Naman is also the combat style associated with the use of twin blades. The art of wielding a sword in each hand is known as Jakka. Those who wish to incorporate a second blade may wish to use a lightsaber shoto in their offhand, for it is a much shorter blade and allows a greater range of motion. Some popular users of this form are Darth Maul and Exar Kun. Juyo has existed for thousands of years and is the most controversial of all the lightsaber forms, for most Jedi have no reason to learn it. Juyo is nicknamed the Way of the Vornsky. Form 7 is vicious and unpredictable. It requires a Jedi to attack under the guidance of controlled passion. It is this aspect that caused most controversy among the Order. For a proper execution of Juyo, it seemingly puts the wielder in violation of one of the code's precepts. There is no emotion, there is peace. Although Form 7 masters do not give themselves to emotions blindly, they generally control their inner turmoil into a mental forge, which provide the passion to power raw and furious strikes. For this reason, Form 7 is restricted by the Council, and only a handful of students that are handpicked may be trained in this form. But not all users of Form 7 can control their emotions good enough. That is how multiple Sith Wars started. Form 7 is very difficult to master. Its moves are sharp and chaotic and often occur in quick bursts. Its most popular users are Mace Windu, who uses a hybrid of a pod, and Jedi Master Rook Lamar. And that, my friends, is all 7 lightsaber forms. What's your favorite lightsaber form? What would you use if you were a Jedi or a Sith? Let me know in the comments down below. And if there's another video idea you would like to see me do, please let me know. Make sure to like and subscribe, and may the Force be with you.